Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome back to Blooming Celeb. I'm back with another lit video, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this. So guys, in today's video, we're going to discuss this is the biggest difference between Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld's sense of humor. Are you guys excited? So let's get started. Keep up with me till the end, comment right below this video, subscribe if you still haven't, and turn on the post notifications for more videos. Throughout Seinfeld's 9-season run, the two master writers and comedians felt at ease with one another, creating some of the most memorable sitcom episodes in the history of the genre. Of course, the final 2 seasons of the show were mostly created without Larry's help, as he felt burnt out and decided to leave the show until Seinfeld's controversial finale, which the stars didn't even really like. It was during these final 2 seasons that fans of Seinfeld really noticed a shift in tone. Instead of Seinfeld being a balance of Larry and Jerry's comedic sensibilities, it leaned towards Jerry's sense of humor. Thus, fans learned the biggest comedic difference between the two co-creators. Larry David has a far darker sense of humor than Jerry Seinfeld. Fans of both Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm are well aware of the similarities and differences between the two shows. While there are more similarities than none, Curb Your Enthusiasm is decidedly darker in tone than the show that paved its way. Some may attribute this to the different formats as well as the very different networks that gave the show their home, but it's more than that. It's actually the fact that Jerry had nothing to do with Curb's creation, and the sense of humor of the show is entirely Larry David's. Of course, both Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm have been molded by teams of talented writers, some of whom have gone on to create other iconic sitcoms, but they were guided by the similar but different sensibilities of the show's creators. In Seinfeld's case, it was the combination of Larry David's darker tone and Jerry Seinfeld's sillier one. Both Jerry and Larry are observational comedians, and their love of petty obsessions, mundane squabbles, and social fox paws are what drives much of Seinfeld, and Curb Your Enthusiasm backs this observation up. But it's also easy to spot in all of the episodes of Seinfeld that he had his hand in. After all, many of them are based on his own experiences, and the character of George Costanza is almost entirely based on himself. How Seinfeld drastically changed when Larry David left. The reason that the earlier Seinfeld episodes worked so well was that each story had a healthy balance of both Larry and Jerry's comedic stylings. They could be dark, highly satirical, and slightly angry, while still being slightly sweet. A bit slapstick and loopy. It was comedy perfection. That's not to say that the final 2 seasons of Seinfeld weren't good. In fact, they were excellent, but they weren't the same kind of excellent as the earlier seasons. This is because Jerry Seinfeld had to manage the show's tone basically by himself. Even though the show had a number of writers who had been there from the beginning and thus knew Larry's sense of humor and could skillfully emulate it, Larry's absence was felt. The final 2 seasons were filled with stories that were far larger in scale than some of their early works, including The Parking Garage and the controversial for the time and utterly inventive The Contest. While Larry's episodes could go big, they mostly focused on smaller moments and human interaction. When Jerry helmed the final 2 seasons with the help of his writers, they made more time for larger gimmicks and more outlandish storylines. They were utterly hilarious, but they weren't the same. Of course, the same can be true for Curb Your Enthusiasm. Even though Jerry Seinfeld had nothing to do with it, apart from guest starring in a handful of episodes, Larry went through a similar creative transition. In the earlier seasons, for the most part, the stories were contained, while in the latter ones, they were far bigger. They still kept that uniquely Larry David sense of humor, more so than the latter seasons of Seinfeld did. Regardless of which sense of humor fans like best, there's no doubt that Larry and Jerry's sense of humor combined led to near perfection. So guys, this was all about today's video. Share as much as you can, as that really motivates us to create more content for you guys. With this, we end our video today. We hope you liked it.